you, Renee. So we'll continue our training. Today is the part 2. We will start with an overview, kind of a review of the SpecDD process. And today's topic will be covering the requirement management and the development process management and the quality management. So for the requirement management, we'll not only talk about how requirement will be represented via documents, ideas, epic, and spec. We'll also talk about the dynamic nature of the requirement-driven, because requirement-driven doesn't mean requirement need to be fully specified first. As we talk about the artifacts of a development process, we will be covering the Agile sprint process in more details. And then we'll be talking about how do you do testing for an Agile sprint versus how do you do regression testing that is integrated with the Agile model. And then we'll quickly kind of raise some of the interesting application of the SpecDD, especially for distributed and a multi-team Agile project and non-Agile project, really. And because many of the attendees yesterday for part 1 requested to cover a bit of what can DevSuite do in terms of implementing SpecDD. So I changed the agenda a bit to provide an overview of DevSuite. And today's training is mainly about methodology, so I do not want to spend too much time on a product other than just showing DevSuite and how it can be used to implement SpecDD. And to some degree, as the chief architect of TechXL, I spend tremendous amount of time designing an ALM solution really for methodology for like implementing SpecDD, which I believe represent the future, as hybrid Agile will be widely used for both Agile project and non-Agile project in my view. So we'll show you a bit about the designing philosophy behind DevSuite, and then conclusions. So we will let you, encourage you to participate. Renee has explained about the training polls, the question you might want to ask. And I want to specifically talk about the training topic discussions. So we'll have about, I think we'll have 2 sessions. If we run out of time, then for the second session, we will spend less time. But these 2 sessions are mainly designed for you to present and to prepare on paper or using Word document, using Excel, using PowerPoint, using anything that you can write down and that can help you to present your idea. So the purpose is to ask you to kind of prepare, think of a sample of project, and then to abstract them with requirement to represent a big idea of a small sample project that you can think of using Epic, and break them down into spec, and think about how are you going to assign such a requirement into development space or development sprints. I want you to create 2 sprints. And then during the first session, you purposely leave the quality management to be not part of your presentations, because we're going to talk about quality management during the second half of today's training. Then towards the end, as we cover the testing piece, then for the same example of a sample project you think of, we would like you to add the quality management for the sprint controlling the quality as well as the possible regression testing you can think of to do the testing. And hopefully, you like what you come up, and hopefully you can post your presentation to the SpecDD.com afterwards. As I explained, not necessarily we're going to publish your presentation, but we're going to make your presentation available at least for you to review and to share with other members of this training sessions, because we want to create a special group and make all of you to be part of this group for this training session.